Welcome to Stevie's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a sourdough pound cake. It's a pretty straightforward recipe. Follow along. I'm going to show you something that's quick, easy, and you're going to love it. So whenever you start with this recipe, you want to make sure you have all your ingredients at room temperature. So I've already kind of had my eggs sitting out for a little bit, my buttermilk sitting out, my butter, and my sourdough. It's always better to bake with room temperature ingredients. So we're going to start with butter, 16 tablespoons. Get that in there. I already got 2 cups of sugar portioned out. So now we're just gonna cream these two together. Put it on our mixer. If you want to, you could do it by hand. I wouldn't advise that. Or if you have a hand mixer, you can do it that way. 2 to 3 minutes and just let it cream. So once it's been about 2 or 3 minutes, all the sugar and butter has creamed together. So as you can tell, I already have my pre-portioned sourdough out. It's a 1/2 cup. And then we're just gonna mix that in with it. We'll let this go, spin a little bit. Now I got my 4 eggs. What you don't wanna do is crack your eggs directly into your batter. So I have a small little ramekin that I'm gonna start here on the side. Crack 1 egg at a time. Slowly incorporate it into your batter as it goes. You don't want to crack your eggs over your cake, just in case a shell piece drops in, then you're going to be stuck with shell in your cake. Or potentially you could have a bad egg. You don't want to put a bad egg into your cake. So it's best just to see them individually come out one by one before you put them in. Once you have all those in, just going to get out some vanilla extract. About a tablespoon is gonna go in. Scrape down the sides. Just make sure everything stays fully incorporated. And now your final wet ingredients, 3/4 cups of buttermilk. So what I did was just take some milk and I added a little bit of vinegar to it, let it sit minimum 10 minutes so it can curdle a little bit, and that's how you actually get your buttermilk. You can do it with lemon juice as well, or you can just buy buttermilk. But I don't just cook with buttermilk every day. I have a kid, so I have milk all the time. And I clean with a lot of vinegar, so I always have the ingredients to make buttermilk. All right, so now that we have all of our wet ingredients mixed together, now we're gonna go for our dry ingredients. I already got 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour measured out. We're just gonna slowly incorporate that in. So now you're just gonna want a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And then you're gonna take 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. Once you get all this in, lower your head back down. Turn on slow so everything doesn't go everywhere. And again, just a nice little mix. You want everything to be fully incorporated before you go into your bundt pan. Again, just kind of go through with your spatula, scrape down the sides real quick so everything gets incorporated. Just a little longer, not too much. Got everything nice and incorporated. Take your paddle off. I like to go back and kind of scrape all this goodness off. If I want my cake, I'm gonna eat it all. So whenever you start, you wanna go ahead and, as you can tell, I got this bundt pan nice and buttered up. It will brown the cake for you having this butter in here as well. And it'll make it easier to remove the cake at the end of its baking process. So all that mixture we just made, just gonna come in here, fill it in. Again, no batter left behind. So I like to get a towel out. After I fill it in, just kind of drop the cake a little bit, take out any air pockets that could possibly be in the batter before I stick it in the oven, and it helps distribute the batter evenly. Now that's been dropped, we're gonna put it into a 325-degree oven for 50 minutes, and we'll see you later. So as you can tell, 50 minutes have went by, about 52 to be exact. And nice golden brown. But the real test is whenever you take out a skewer, run it down, comes out clean. So what we're gonna do actually is continue. We're just gonna poke a bunch of little holes on the bottom of this while it is still warm. And And what we're doing is trying to just basically open up some spots for this quick glaze that we are about to make. So I melted already, halfway melted, about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna take a little bit of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. I got about 1/4 cup of hot water. Just gonna pour in a little to start. You do want a kind of a thinner glaze. But once you have it all incorporated, while the cake is still hot, all those holes aerated in it, we're just gonna slowly pour this in, pour it over top so it can all seep down in there. Now, just let this sit, soak in, give it about an hour or 2 to cool, and then you'll take it out. So now that we have let this cake cool, let's get it out. Here's the moment of truth. There we go. So now for this cake, this is just a little something extra that I'm doing. I'm gonna make a bananas Foster's topping to go with it. Right now I got the pan nice and hot. I've already cut myself a slice of pound cake. So what I'm gonna do is actually just kind of sear it on both sides, caramelize some of these sugars on this side of it. This shouldn't take long. It'll take about 1 minute each side. Just want to get a nice little crust on it. And then when we're done with that, we're gonna drop in some butter, a little bit of brown sugar, vanilla extract, salt, and some heavy cream, and toss in the bananas. Let it all simmer together for about 2-3 minutes. If you want to, you can add in some whiskey. Personally, I don't drink, so I'm not gonna throw in the whiskey, but it does add some good flavor. Minutes has gone by now, so we can flip this. Now that we got the pound cake seared, I'm gonna bring out my bowl, cake into the bowl. I'm gonna add in some butter. Get that going. As our butter melts, we're gonna get in some brown sugar here. It's gonna be about 1/2 cup. Add in our vanilla. I forgot to say it earlier, we're actually gonna put in a little bit of cinnamon as well. A little pinch of salt. Then we'll get in our heavy cream. Let's toss in our bananas. We're only gonna let this cook for a few minutes because we still want to keep some texture on those bananas. About another minute or so here. Got this last minute finishing here. I'm gonna shut this heat off. So now that our sauce is done, our pound cake is seared. Just gonna go in here, ladle a little bit on. That's about all I need. It's your pound cake with banana Foster's topping. Let me get a nice bite for y'all. Ooh. This cake is moist. I ain't got no words for this. I just know I'm gonna need to hit the gym because I'm gonna eat a lot of this. Get your own.